I'm on, I'm on, I'm on. Oh man, my first time on in on my computer, and it keeps like as I move, it's focusing funny. No me gusta. No me gusta. Let me just share the live on Facebook. Hold on. Just hold on. We're coming home. Coming home. Now, I don't think that I could add anybody. I don't think I could add anybody to this because I'm on my computer. I'm gonna try to, but I don't think I can. I don't think I can. What's up, Timbo? I stopped watching academics for this. All right, I got you, bro. It should be good. It should be good. I mean, listen, we're gonna do a little recap. We're gonna talk about what's next. I got some hats lined up. You know, I already got hats lined up. Um, you know, we're gonna get things rolling. There's a lot I want to talk about. A lot of good things. A lot of good things. But first, do you hear me good? Am I too loud? Am I too low? How do I sound? How do I sound? Let me know. Because my mic is right here. I'm a little far away from it. Let me move in a little bit. Move in. I like the way I look. Let me see if I can add anybody. What's this? Share screen, mute, engage with your audience. Start a poll. No, I'm not doing no poll. Yeah, I don't think I could add anybody to this stream. So, you know, when Duck Sam joined, I can't add his ass, but it's whatever. Listen, uh, I've been uploading some stuff on my YouTube from the weekend. I know if Sal Dueñez is watching, he doesn't like when we talk about the same thing over and over. But I do it just for him. Timbo said, "Congrats to you, Los, Adam, Pete, Chena, and the rest that helped you on a tremendous event and getting it done. Thank you, thank you." Um, it was exciting, man. It was a really good weekend. Um, a lot of obstacles, but we overcame them and we made it happen. I do want to correct something. So because teams didn't show up, I think we ended up with 98 teams. So there was 101 teams originally, but then it ended up with 98 teams. So it was still the biggest tournament to date for us for Florida versus the world. But it was only 98. So maybe next year we'll surpass that 100 mark. Obviously, you know that we can now that congratulations to the winners, the Basque country team that won. I am sure Basque is going to come heavy next year. I also am aware that Luke plans on coming next year. He couldn't come this year because it interfered with a tournament that was happening over there, and that's the reason why he didn't come. But I'm sure he's going to come next year. Hope maybe we get another Sasha showing because Luke and Sasha came to one of these one time. So hopefully Sasha sees that Basque is putting overseas on the map and um, wants to give it a shot again himself. So hopefully they come. I'm sure more Bass teams are going to come. Like I said, maybe some more Ireland teams and UK teams and whatnot. So we'll see how big the event gets. Shout out to Texas. Texas came out. I think they had 10 teams. I think they came out heavy. So shout out to Texas. Nothing but good vibes from those guys over there, man. All of them. All there were so many. There's too many to count. Too many to name. I don't want to miss anybody. But Texas really was a good time. So shout out to them. Shout out to Cali. Um, Unfortunately, Cali's top team did not show, but Cali still had some guys come. I know Romeo King, Chava, Fern, Unamano, Donovan, and Marco. My twin Israel, twin. If I'm forgetting anybody else from Cali, I apologize. But I know that you guys came with a couple people, so shout out to you guys. Shout out to Detroit. There was a Detroit team there, and the guys from Detroit actually are small ball, three wall, four wall players. And there was a world championship or a national championship four wall tournament happening about 30 minutes away from Hollywood. Uh, and the Detroit guys said they rather be at Hollywood playing in Florida versus the world with the big ball guys, one wall. So shout out to you guys in Detroit. Puerto Rico came. Shout out to Team Puerto Rico. Some guys from New England, Connecticut was there. Shout out to them. We had people from all over. Obviously, we had PA, Allentown, in Philly. We had New York. We had Massachusetts. Got a team from Massachusetts. Um, and then we got Danny Gill tuning in to IS10. Some exciting games from Danny Gill. Danny, I don't know if you saw, but I didn't. I did include you in this, players to watch for 2026. I do think that you would need to absolutely dominate to actually get carded. But a good solid year from you this year, and it's almost guaranteed by next year you could be an A player, bro. Your game is exciting, and I want to say it's because you don't look like you're gonna kill everything the way you do. You don't look like you're ready for all the smoke. So then when it comes out and it's like your energy stays calm but hype at the same time. Almost like a confidence, right? And not a cockiness, a confidence of like, yeah, that's nothing. That shot was nothing. So Danny, congratulations on a really exciting game. Hopefully, a really exciting year for you. I think that you're right there. Billy Pap is a good partner for you. But if he's not as committed as you are, if you want to get carded, there are plenty of guys out there that you could team up with, um, that want to get carded with you. I could see you doing real good with Saeed. We'll leave it at that. YGN. I did do an interview with YGN. Hopefully, it comes out. My man is slacking. He's got a lot of content, and nothing has been pushed out yet. So we're waiting for YGN and all of his content. Ten's Finest obviously is still putting out a bunch of content. He's got a lot of stuff on his phones. Ten's Finest is funny because he was a little down and out. He was a little down and out for the tournament. Obviously, the weather. Of course, the service is not good, and Tens is definitely at this point more of a live streamer than an uploader. He likes to live stream, and he will not live stream unless that stream is super clear, picture perfect. But guess what? When those Bass guys won, when I tell you Phil was jumping up and down like he is their number one fan, I know he was just like, it was great. It was great. It was great. So yeah, man. 10th Finance. Amir was there. Amir was blogging and vlogging. That was pretty cool. Um, Yeah, the service at Hollywood is just not good. We realized this year through trial and error, Court 2 and Court 3 are the best to live stream. Court 1 is just not it. So shout out to Tuna, new A player, bro. Tuna, the most electrifying player. Listen, um, something pretty cool. We obviously, if anybody saw it, hopefully they didn't record us. We did a quick vote on A players right there, in a little group, in a little huddle right before that second semifinals game. And when we all agreed on who's getting the cards, um, I said that I would announce them. Dwight did not want to announce them, so I said I would announce them. So I'm announcing them. And I did Modelo first, and then I did Melvin, and then I asked for Tuna's card from Adam. And Adam was like, no, we're going to save Tuna for last. Best decision of the weekend, saving Tuna's A card for last. Because the minute I said, John, all you heard was the crowd, turn me up, chat. There was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. And honestly, shout out to Saha, Dwight, and Gladys and Karen, who wasn't there, for doing their basically doing their A card ceremony in Florida at Florida versus the World. Because if we're being honest, over the last few years, that A card, that Winter Classic at Zariga has just not had the energy that it used to have. And it's unfortunate because Dwight and Saha, they do everything for the love of the game. And it seems like people are losing love here and there, and they're not as excited as they used to be. So for them to do it at Florida versus the World in front of a huge crowd that was just cheering, it was awesome. So I'm so happy that we did it at Florida versus World, and I'm so happy for all of the new A players. Like Danny Gill says, shout out to that flamethrower. It was the MVP, the true MVP of the weekend. That flamethrower was everything. Oh, Smack the World also went live, and he also uploaded some stuff. There's some things coming out now, so shout out to Smack the World. Um, uh, what did I want to say? I wanted to say, um, A players. So who got carded? The first one I announced was Tall Rob. Some people don't agree. I think Tall Rob has all of the talent in the world. I think Tall Rob, as long as he gets the right coaching, as long as he gets the right mentor, as long as somebody guides him in the right way in the opens, I think Tall Rob will be the next top player out of this class. I think Tall Rob has that ceiling. He just needs the right guidance. The second guy I announced was Mike D, I think. Oh no, Brian Toro. Obviously, Brian for me was on the fence until he won that last AB with Colleen, and it's like, okay, you're out of here. You got to go. And then Mike D, obviously, that was the give me a reason. All we needed was a reason. He gave us more than one this year. Followed by Robbie KO, RKO. I don't know if anybody calls him RKO. I saw it on the comment and I love it. Robbie KO, RKO, love it. Robbie obviously is a talented player. He's been in the conversation for quite a few years. I know that Robbie doesn't have the stats over the last few years, but if you watch him play, especially versus open players, you can see that he can hang. I hope that he doesn't disappear now that he got carded. But if he did, congratulations anyway. It was you earned it. Then we have Modelo and Melvin. Obviously, Modelo and Melvin, um, Florida guys. They've been doing it for years. 47 years old. They're some old heads. Those are some old heads, and they Modelo is the flashy player. He's the sniper. He's gonna shoot that shot no matter who he's playing against. But Modelo does that because Melvin is on his side. So Melvin doesn't get the amount of credit that he should get. But Melvin is able to compete with anybody in singles and doubles. So shout out to Melvin. Pugs. I have to admit, for me, I did not want Pugs to get carded this year, not because I don't think he deserved it. I do think Pugs had an argument to be carded. What I didn't what I didn't want is for Pugs to I wanted Pugs to get a year where he was the man. Like hands down the man. A players were asking him to play with him in the ABs. He was a top B player. He could have played with anyone. I really would have loved Pugs being the man for one whole year. But he didn't. He got carded, and guess what? He's probably my favorite person that got carded. And then there was Tuna. I don't think I left anybody else. And then Tuna, is self-explanatory. He's nothing but a ball of energy. And it's exciting to watch him. Unfortunately, Team Florida got decked in Florida versus the World this year. I got decked first round by BK Fleazy, HBBKHBNY, whatever his YouTube is. He decked me. Timbo says, shout out to all the new A's. Congrats. Welcome to the big boy league. Keep up the good playing, fellas. He also said, and shout out to the winners and Long Island for great finals, great fight, not giving up, great look, focus, and sportsmanship that game. Pugs talking game got him the A card. He's always saying, I'm gonna crush them in the best one on the court. I'm the best one on the court. Yeah, Pugs definitely gives off a player persona. I like Pugs. I really do like Pugs, man. I chop it up with Pugs a lot. I'm happy Pugs got it before Sagi. How about that? Clip that up. Clip that up. Pugs got carded before Sagi. How amazing is that? And I'm gonna give you guys a clip in a little bit. Actually, I got a bunch of people watching right now. If no one clips this and posts this, I'm gonna clip it myself. But I really want everybody to screen record this right now. What I'm about to say. I'll give you 3 seconds to start that screen recording before I say it because this is amazing. Um, Damn, Theo Vic, listen to me. Here's the clip. Something happened this weekend at Florida versus the World that I never saw happen. And if you would have asked me, I would have told you there's no possible way it could happen. What happened this weekend at Florida versus the World is we got to see the community working together. Everybody working together for the first time. I've never seen this. A players, B players, C players, New York players, Florida players, Texas players, guys I don't even know who they were. When we needed to start the tournament on Thursday. I started on Thursday. We got 3 or 4 games done Thursday. Then we got it done on Friday, 40 games on Friday. When I tell you, we were stopping games in the middle of the game and saying, we need this court to get a tournament game on. And not one person gave us a hard time. I never, ever would have thought that would happen. Nobody was above the tournament this weekend, and it was absolutely amazing. And without that, this doesn't get done. There was I felt like Doctor Strange going through the future to find out all the possibilities of this tournament finishing by Saturday and what needs to happen. And there was only one in 4 million and whatever the number is. And we did it. And we did it. And to the community, I thank you. Flip over. That was it. I wanted to make sure that I said that. It was special. This weekend was really special. It was cold. It was cold. It was rainy. Um, but guess what? The sun came out and the vibe was there. I think the vibe added 3 degrees on to all of us, right? So if it was 57, the vibe made it 60 because it felt like I felt like the minute the finals was over, I couldn't be outside anymore. It's freezing. But when the finals was happening, it was like I'm locked in. I didn't feel nothing. So we for sure with the cold, with the rain, we still was able to get that vibe, and that vibe was everything. Something really cool. Matter of fact, thanks to Danny Gill and Billy Pap, on Friday night, we ended the night with Danny and Billy versus Max and Tuna. Super exciting game. Super exciting game. Friday night gave us Saturday night vibes. We got 2 nights of like finals. Awesome. Awesome. Loved it. Hold on 1 second. We only had maybe 2 or 3 occasions, instances, altercations with the law enforcement there, which isn't bad. We probably had over 400 people in Hollywood at Garfield Street courts, at the handball courts, and to have that many people and only have about you know, 3 or 4, 2 or 3, maybe 2 or 3 incidences with the cops. I think we won. I think we won. Even though it really only takes one for the whole weekend to be shut down. It didn't happen. So happy that that happened. I'm happy people listened. We got 1 or 2 altercations that also did not derail us. Shout out to the team. The team consists of um Carlos, Adam, Pete, Gina, Kevin, and myself, obviously. And then we get some people that help every year, like Mitch, Gina's husband, Anthony. Carlos always has new friends that are coming, old school. It's a different bond that Carlos has with his guys. It's very much a like, whatever you do, I'm following up. So they always are an incredible help. Shout out to everybody that refed. I'm not gonna do all the this whole thing is not gonna be about shout outs. Let's talk about the game real quick. The games. I think one of the more exciting games of the day, obviously, was the Max and Tuna versus Isaiah and Nate quarterfinals game that ended 21-20. What's up, Phil? What's up, Phil? Ten's finest. Um, uh, uh, Super exciting game. Isaiah and Nate up point game 15. They got down and Max ran it out. For me, Max is out. I do have to put it to a vote. You know what? Let me go. Let me put on a hat. Is Mario just put on the hat? This hat don't fit at all. Oh no. No, Mario just. Okay. It's Mario World. All right. Um I think that Max is out. Again, it does have to be put to a vote. Um, I think we all agree within that Max is out. Even though he didn't win the tournament, part of us letting Florida A players play is to give us an even playing field, not an unfair advantage. And Max looking like he is the best player on the court 9 out of 10 times. Um, I think he's out. Again, I'll put it to a vote, but we got over a year before we figure out what we're going to do. Um, but I think he's out. We did get 3 new A players though, so 1 out, 3 in is okay in my book. I like Max in. I like Florida guys in because they don't have anything else like this. You're not wrong, Carlos. You're not wrong, but maybe I'll let Max play if he plays with me. I don't know, maybe we'll see. Um, we'll see if he could if he's willing to take that ride with a C player. Um you see y'all voting in Max. Damn. Damn, punishment playing with me? Diablo. Me and Kevin lost in the first round to BK. No, I didn't. This is the camera. I'm just on the YouTube app. Not on the thing. But yeah, me and Kevin lost to Brooklyn first round. Good night. First round just. Lefty Hack though almost created another MVP. Lefty Hack, MVP Hack almost got Amir and Danny MVP again. Again. No. This Hack is an MVP breeder for real. Under 10. They under 10 Lefty Hack. Don't tell them that I said that. But they under 10 them. They might have under 5 them. Damn, Heck. That's crazy. Listen, going back to it though, I think that was one of the best games. Another really good game was Dre and Lou Banga versus Melvin and Modelo. Listen, Dre, listen. I don't know what it is with Dre. He gets a little sensitive when I troll him. I love Dre's game. I love Dre's energy. I love his confidence. Um, I'm happy he won that game. I'm miserable that I bet against him. I lost a lot of money that game. Obviously, I thought he was the heavy underdog, but he won, and I trolled him for it. And now he's all sensitive on Facebook. Dre, calm down, Dre. Okay, you did good. I get it. Okay, no problem. You're gonna donate the money that you got from me. Yeah, I got it. All right. Just don't be a little sensitive on me, okay? I like trolling with you. The same way I do with Duck Sam. All right. We good. We good. All right, bro. But listen, Dre played great. That was another 21-20 game. Really exciting. Um, is that Dre? No, I'm not. Is that Dre? Perfect. Perfecto one. Dre, is that you? Sensitive Dre? I'm gonna stop calling you Lefty Dre. I'm gonna start calling you Sensitive Dre because you be getting sensitive on me. Oh, Dre, perfecto, Dre. I love your game, bro. I love your game. All right, just don't be so upset when I troll you, bro. I gotta troll you, man. I gotta troll you. Listen, um, the worst game of the tournament was when my king got dethroned by Theo Vic and Saeed. It was the nastiest loss of the day. It was like a liver shot over and over like here, just eat this liver. Eh, eh. It was terrible. I think the worst part about watching Thor lose to Theo Vic was the fact that Theo Vic was shooting from the straddle. The box out shots from the straddle were insane. Listen, that's why we didn't get MVP because you hurt. No, you didn't get MVP because I mean, who else did you beat? MVP went to Isaiah and Nate. Why did it go to Isaiah and Nate? Well, first off, they beat a decent Florida team, Nico and Jungle. Nico and Jungle are better individual players than as a team, but they're still good players. And Isaiah and Nate beat them. Then they beat Robbie KO and Alexis, right? Top team. They were a seeded team. Then they beat Matt, Mancho, and JoJo. Top team, seeded team. Then they basically almost beat Max and Tuna in the quarters, 21-20 in a great game. Maybe if your game got a little closer to Lur, it would have been more of a conversation. But in my opinion, it wasn't a conversation. Isaiah Nate clearly was getting MVP. Um, he's definitely a lefty now, Timbo Dre. Yeah, Lefty Dre is Lefty Dre. Listen, I'll tell you this, Lou Banger was I don't I am not trying to take nothing away from his game, but on that last run that they had when they got Melvin and Modelo down, I felt like Lou was just swinging as hard as he can, and every ball was just killing. I don't know if he was aiming them. All I know is that he was just swinging. It was crazy. I think Dre hit one lefty miss hit, because he didn't mean it. And then the game ended on a back hole, which is always unfortunate. Theo Vic beat Thor, and then Thor. Wait, Theo Vic beat Thor, and then Thor and Thor. I don't even know what that means. Uh, but speaking about Theo Vic, let's not forget Saeed. Saeed, without a shadow of a doubt, in that game versus Thor and Slinky, Saeed was the best player on that court. Hands down, no questions asked. He was the best player on that court. When I tell you he was running up to the wall and just rolling a shot out, it was disgusting. So congratulations to you guys. That's a big win. I'm glad you didn't take my bet. What's the stats of upsets? So that was an upset. Dre was an upset. Um, I want to say Lur beating Max was an upset and Lur beating Mike D was an upset, but I'm not too sure if those are upsets because here's the reality. Lur and Mikkel are top players. I understand the reason why they didn't get carded this year, but it doesn't take away from the fact that they are top players, especially if you look at what they did at King of the Courts. So I don't think those are upsets. What are other BK beating me and Kevin? I think is an upset, not because of me, but because of Kevin, obviously. And then BK beating Abner and Omar was another upset. I'm not keeping count here, but there were quite a few upsets in the tournament. Some of them late, some of them early. Sagi losing was not an upset. Um, Sorry, Sagi, if you're here. My bad. Um, yeah, Saeed did community service. I know he couldn't walk the next day. Listen, you might be right. No, yo, Timbo, I don't know who got that game. I think Smack the World got the game. Theo Vic played amazing. Can't even, I can't deny it. Can't deny it. He played absolutely amazing. Um, for a 60-year-old man, he played lights out, lights out. Yeah, I back to the drawing board for Florida. Obviously, we one of my Florida teams got decked by Jenny Q. I'm talking about the roundhouse Chuck Norris, like good night, gone. And I think he's in here. Don't comment if you're in here. I know you're in here. But Jenny put her foot in. It was crazy. I gotta stop putting Jenny Q against Florida guys because she did that to Birdman last year, and then she did it to another Florida team. It's getting rough. Why didn't Cali show up? Oscar and Torito were supposed to come. I don't know why they didn't come. I tried to call Oscar, he didn't pick up. I spoke to Oscar and Torito probably 3 times, 4 times collectively before the tournament, and they kept telling me they were coming, and then they didn't. Can't force anybody to come have a good time, man. We like to have a good time. We like to have a good time. And Cali would have had a good time, but they didn't come. Theo just turned 96. Dang it. Damn. Um, Let's talk about Lur Mikel, the winners, the champions, the guys representing Basque Country. Something weird. I put on Facebook, guys. I appreciate you guys showing Lur Mikel love, but they represent Basque Country and not Spain, because that's what they want. And then I had everybody telling me Basque is part of Spain, bro. Listen, if you're from Brooklyn, right? And you rep Brooklyn, and someone's like, all right, coming from New York State, and you're like, no, 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 you could tell them I'm from Brooklyn. No one's gonna say, nah, but Brooklyn's in New York. No, they're gonna say you from Brooklyn. You got it. I don't even know why that's controversial. Like, just flow, just go with it. You guys telling me, you showing me the Wikipedia of where Basque is doing nothing. Like, it is they want to rep Basque Country. So whenever you shout them out, just say Basque instead of Spain. That's it. It end the story. Nothing else. Sacabo. So let's talk about the Basque boys. Um, One thing that I think we all got to see uh was what true chemistry, true teamwork, and true preparation can get you. I think the Bass guys actually train and prepare when they're about to go compete. And I think they do it in different ways than we do it here in the States. A lot of people believe that when they are training for a tournament, that means let me go play as many games as I can. That is not training. That is not training. When you see football players training, they're not playing football games to train. They're doing way more other things to get prepared for the season. And guys don't understand that in handball. We have yet to see what a true athlete is in our sport because you guys, including me, right? Including everybody, um, there's no money in it. So there's no reason to actually train, to take the time and the hard work to train to get better. These guys, if I can have a magic globe to see what they did to train, I'm going to say they went to a gym on a wall by themselves and practiced specific shots. One thing that's absolutely amazing that I think Colleen pointed out to me, I think it was Colleen. I hope I'm giving the credit, the right credit. They never switch sides. They never switch sides. It doesn't matter what's happening in the game. Lur stays on power, Mikel stays on support. And then if they got to switch like percentages, they switch percentages. They never switch sides. What does that do? Listen, you can ask Timbo. Timbo's in here now. Something I've always said that I hate watching when I'm watching guys playing the opens is when they constantly switch sides. You can't get a rhythm if you are switching back and forth, back and forth. It is insanely difficult for you. I know that when I'm playing, if I'm on weak side the whole game and the game is coming to the end and you say switch, I'm flat out telling you no. No. Because if you gave me 3 points to switch, I'm going to hit the ball out that very first time because I have to recalibrate where I'm lined up on the court. They don't even, it's not even in the book for them. So another thing that I absolutely loved about watching them play is how short and simple and to the point their communication is. Now, I was told they were saying words. It sounded like sounds to me. Huh? Eh, what? Eh. I don't know if they were words, but all I know is that when Lur grunted, Mikel knew, don't hit the next shot because Lur got it in the back. That was it. And it worked every time. Every time. And now I spoke with someone today. Hold on, let me read some of these. Venga, Austria, Austria. Chemistry and professionalism. Hard work pays off. Those guys train hard. Just playing on the weekends ain't cutting it. I agree. Mikel watching my videos just with the lobs and the left kills, laugh out loud, look like me in Coney tournament. Today's players don't train or work out. Agreed. Waiting 3, 4 hours at Zariga for your next will not get you there. Agreed again. Footwork, cardio, conditioning, discipline, and they probably have coaches. Agree again. To me, it felt like Mikel controlled the game from the weak side. Agreed, but we're going to go over that just in a second, Pat. I train hard. So did Max, but Mikel and Lur clearly trained harder. I love that, Tuna, because you guys definitely did train. But I love that it's not an excuse, but it's a reason, right? You're not using that as an excuse why you lost. It's the reason why you lost. Like we trained, but they trained harder. We wanted it, but they wanted it more. And I respect that. I really do. Paul said, I hate seeing teams switch sides. I say stick with it and just go and figure it out or go down with the ship and be better next time. I agree. Is that the reason you're Carlos, what's up, baby? A lot of people don't realize the key of their timeouts was always at the right time, and they got a defensive stop every time. They had a killer chant too. Yeah, ole, 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 ole. That was fire. Okay, going to what Pat said. He said, I felt like Mikel controlled the game from the weak side. So I was speaking to someone today, I forgot who it was, and they said, oh, I feel like they didn't hit it to Mikel's right. I feel like teams lost because they didn't hit it to Mikel's right. Here's the thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody in the chat right now, correct me if I'm wrong. When you are playing two righties, two right-handed players, the goal in the rally, in the volleys, is to hit the ball to the weak player left hand, right? That is ultimately like if you don't know what to do, drive it to their opposite. I feel like That's the universal truth in handball and doubles. Find the opposite. Go cross court to the power side players opposite, or find the weak players opposite. I don't necessarily think players had the wrong game plan. I think Mikel was just prepared for it. And I think he was on, and he was on for more than one game. Um, do I think the right line shot was open? Yes. Do I think Tuna specifically, because he's a lefty and he attacks the wall, could have exploited the right line more? Yes. Do I think playing Mikel's left was a bad plan? No. I think that was the good plan. He just played better. He executed it better. It was a good execution. He executed it better. That's really just my opinion. Uh, yeah. So the lobs. So here's what's interesting. Wally. I think this is Wally Amaro, who's a veteran, extremely smart in handball, from Philly. Uh, There weren't a lot of lobs. There were more drives than lobs, but Mikel was lobbing it. What was weird is that Mikel was lobbing it and not gaining position on all of his lobs. He was cherry picking when to get in front. Like every lob, he didn't gain position back on every lob. Very interesting how he played that, right? Because it was almost like lob, stay back, chop lob, let them drive it, him run up, and then him kill it. It was like he was reading a book and he knew every word, really. And then if you fucked up and you hit it to learn underhand, good night. Good night. Now, the finals, I didn't get to watch the beginning of the finals because I was in the room figuring out the placements with China. When I got back, it was like 17 serving 4. I was like, there's no way. A blowout in the finals. Mike D and Brian, I am so happy they made it an interesting game. So happy. BJ said, I think you're right. You have to play the weak player always. Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. Obviously, there's in-game adjustments, BJ, and I think that somebody that I always give a lot of credit to is someone like Timbo, who adjusts mid-game, like, all right, well, this isn't working, so this is what I'm going to do. But remember, this is not an open tournament. This is Florida versus the world. It's a little different. These guys, although we have A players, they're not that experienced A players. And although we got the new A players that were B players from New York, again, they're not that experienced. Open players are able to adjust like that. These guys at this point kind of don't, and you see it, and you saw it. The other teams didn't come with a plan B. Yep, that's exactly what it was, Timbo. Plan B. How about the lob towards end of game that they both stared at? Oh, Brian and Mike. Yeah, that was tough. That was a tough one to just. I think that Brian. I think Brian covered his side a little too much. Mike could have gotten it, but it was Brian's shot to get. Mike was closer, and Mike was assuming Brian was there. It was just miscommunication. Notice how Mike D made a run on point. He hit it to Lur's left corner a few times and Mikel's right corner, and that's what they had to do from the jump, and they would have won. I mean, corner shots are definitely um, almost always the right thing to do, but in a finals, especially when you're losing, it's not the easiest thing to do. Matt said, "That's how my." I'm not reading that, Matt. You're crazy, Krispy Kreme. I'm glad you changed your YouTube handle. I also noticed that the guys concentrate on driving the middle. These overseas teams learn to control that. Yeah, I agree. That is. And Wally, I'll be honest, a lot of open guys also just play the middle these days. Like they just drive middle. Um, and Lauren McCall spent a few days in New York, and maybe that was like the big difference there. They understood that they kind of became acclimated with the way that we play in the States immediately because they haven't been here in a couple months. It's a big risk. It's a big risk, big reward. You got nothing to lose. Well, that's what happened, I think, Timbo, is that they had nothing to lose at that point. They were getting blown out. And they were like, let's just play the corner. Let's just shoot. I mean, Brian was shooting. You saw what that left-handed, the one that Phil did, where he just rolled, or where Brian came in, rolled it out with his left. There was another shot that Brian hit at the end where he came off the fly from power side and just bow, blakata. That's my mom. When my mom used to beat the shit out of me, she used to get Placata. I don't even know what that means. Who speaks Spanish? My mom's Puerto Rican. What does that mean? Placata. What does that mean? That means good night. That's what that means. Um, Israel said, cool, calm, and collected. Never got psyched out. I've noticed a lot of these guys try to get in the Europeans' head and they stay, oh my God, yo, twin. That is a great point. You couldn't break them mentally. You just couldn't. Um, you hit a good shot and they shook your hand, pat you on the back, give you a thumbs up. You just couldn't get to them. They played absolutely amazing. Got like 8 million views, I heard. Yeah, the Brian Toro shot got 8 million views. It was fire. When you got a lead like that, it gives you more confidence to go for the crazy shots. The truth is, Larry McKell was warm already. Wanted that game hot. Brian and Mike should have been warming up on the. Oh, I mean, that's another way to look at it. But again, Timbo, experience. You know, that comes with experience. BJ said, my opinion, Mike D and Brian let them go too far ahead. Trying to come back with those guys are steady players. I agree. They were waiting a while there, but yeah, everything that you guys are saying, I agree with. I'm gonna switch it up real quick because I'm feeling a little cuzzy, Lego Just is crazy. Lego Just. My kids asked me what hats I was gonna wear in the live. So I had to do more than one. I do more than one. It's Lego Just. So yeah, what's to come? Um, we want to move Florida versus the world later in the year. An exact date is not there yet. We have over a year to figure that out. Um, but it's gonna be March or April. That's what I'll say. It's going to be March or April. Now, what I will also admit is that I know that this year we had a cold front, but typically we don't. And there is a part of me that wants to keep it the weekend before the Super Bowl. I do like that. But the teams deciding to move it further in the year so that the cold front thing is just kind of not even an issue. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. So yeah, obviously I always try to give you guys about 6 months to prepare. So you'll hear from me on Facebook in a few months and we'll figure it out if it's going to be the second to last weekend in March or the second weekend in April this year. Well, next year. Wally said, what was the confusion on the serve in Max and Lur game? Max was wrong. He knows that now. Max was confused because he thought he called timeout on second man after getting them down, but he called timeout on first man. So when he came back, he thought that they should be up, but it was second man. We confirmed that. Listen, I'll give you guys a piece of advice. This is from Carlos. Something that as a host, as a referee, you might grab onto. It's really, I've never done it. It's not the first time he's asked me to do it. I always forget. Maybe you guys will remember. When Carlos is reffing a big game, especially late in a tournament, he usually hands a clipboard to one of his linesmen or someone in the crowd to mimic the game with him. Why does he do that? To make sure that he's got the score right, to make sure that he's got the serve right, to make sure that he's got the timeouts right. So when that whole thing happened with Max in that Lur game, Carlos came up to me and asked me, what server is it? And I knew because I had it written down. I was mimicking everything Carlos was doing. So it's always good, just to add on security blanket in a big tournament for an appeal with something like that. Timbo said in the AB, me and opens. The opens I just won, I guess. My partner go warm up right when they said we was up next after a game with the ball in the other court. Yeah, I agree. There was zero confusion on my part as a referee. Max just thought, yep, okay. Philly said, okay. March, April flights become pricey due to spring breakers. You are right, Easy. You're right. You're right. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out for sure. It's gonna be later in the year, maybe end of February gets close to the AF tournament. That's the beginning of March. So we'll figure something out. Cold front, nah, that was like a movie twisted laughing. Yo, it was insane. What happened. But you know what? The weather really helped. It held up for us. Like I said, shout out to Carlos and the blowtorch because that was a quick way for us to get started again. Maybe we get tarp. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. Last year was the 80. Yeah. No, last year it was scorching hot because in Hollywood in February at 80 degrees, it feels like 90 and you're just dead. Um, Spike in April. Yep, I agree with you with the prices. April. Okay, yes, April is the Jess Memorial Tournament in Texas, so we got to watch out for that. You're right. You're right. Nothing is written in stone yet. Nothing is concrete. It's potentially moving. We don't know when and where to. It is over a year from now, but we will figure it out. But good catch. Good reminder, Wally. Carlos, write that down. Um, that we got to remember the Just Memorial Tournament in Texas also. Um, what else? What else? What's to come? Um, Road to Vegas. Road to Vegas tournaments are happening again this year. I think in June. Vegas tournament, I believe, is in October. The Cali tournament is in July. The Jazz Memorial tournament is in April. What else? Nationals is always in June. King of the Court is in July. The Battle of the Kings is usually in the end of May. These are all tournaments that are coming up. I don't know if there's any actual dates. You know, I know April. I know the Just Memorial has a date. I really want to go to that. The 10K, I believe, is going to happen in July also at IS10. The Worlds and the Coney Island Opens is in September. They might be back-to-back weekends. The Worlds, I think, is the whole week. I think it's the whole week. They're probably going to start like Monday or Tuesday, some shit. There's a lot of tournaments coming up. I plan on doing I only because we got more A players and I got to make sure I do right by them, and I also have to figure out who the top Bs are. I do plan on bringing back my King of the Bees singles in Florida. I'll probably try to do it at Bob's house. That's going to be open to everyone. It's not just Florida players. So if anybody wants to come down for that tournament, you can. And then I have to do the road to Vegas, and then I would like to do an open singles. Would like to do an open singles also out here for the open players. Now that we have all of these A players in Florida, I do plan on doing something for them because I didn't get them their A cards. They got their own A cards. They earned it. But obviously, my presence in Florida allows certain eyes to be on them because I am in the in crowd with the in the community. So I want to make sure that I do right by them and do some tournaments for them. Worlds go Saturday through Friday, leading up to the Coney Island. Oh shit! So Friday is the championship games, and then Saturday will be the Coney Island Opens. That's insane. You sure? You sure about that? I'm uploading a lot of games from the weekend on my YouTube. Y'all gotta subscribe to my YouTube, man. I'm trying to be like Phil. I'm trying to be like Ten's finest, bro. Y'all not giving me no subscribers. Um I can't add anybody to the live, but I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. The Florida versus the World, huge success. I love that everybody have fun. I love the support that it gets. I'm happy that we got through what we got through. Um, it was an obstacle, but we did it. I'm happy for um, a lot of people did like that we started early. Interesting. Um, so that's something that we have to kind of talk about. Thank you, Philly. Thank you, Wally. Shout out to Philly. Love those Philly guys. Isaiah and Nate are the next team. That is the next team. Shout out to the paddleball community is right. Listen, paddleball. Going back to what I said before, paddleball. The paddleball people in Hollywood were so cool. When I tell you Thursday's their day to play, when they found out that we might start on Thursday the tournament, they were like, "Let me know when to go. Let me know when to go. Like you can have the court. We do not need the court." And I'm like, "No, have fun. You only took one court. I can't kick you off of every court." They were like, "Just let me know." Shout out to Rocco's. I love Rocco's. Who is that? Enrique. Is that Enrique from Texas? Listen, Shorty from Rocco's, that she's doing a million miles per hour. You know what I'm talking about. She's the MVP. What's up, Enrique? She's the MVP. And I told her when we were there, I said, "Yo, I can't come to Rocco's and you're not here." Like fucking, she's like this. Love it. Need her every time. Um, Coney Island opens is first, September 12th and 13th. And then the Worlds starts Monday, the 14th. Interesting. That's how big small bowl tournaments they start on Thursday. Just advertise ahead of time. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people enjoyed it. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that the people that were like, I kind of like that we started games early. So maybe that's something else we look into. We didn't use all day Friday, and we didn't use every court Friday. So interesting. We'll figure it out. I got more interviews coming up. My next interview is going to be with BJ. BJ Flood, Bobby Flood from he lives in Philly. He's got a lot of stories. I got to tell BJ, we're gonna have to cut it into just an hour, so we'll get an hour's worth of stories. But BJ has been he's got a voice and he's got some things people got to hear. So I got to make sure I get BJ on this. After that, I do want to get. I honestly, so someone asked me about that, Wally, about Basque. I can try. I can try. Um, they speak many languages. They speak many languages. Um, so let's see how it would look with the Basque guys. I will definitely try. I do like interviewing the old timers. Speaking of old timers, Joe Durso did show up. Joe Durso did show up. I don't know how long he was there because I told him to take a seat. I looked away and he was gone. Um, But I do want to. I know Albert Apuzzi. I gotta speak with Albert Apuzzi. I know that small ball. I'm not too sure that my following has a lot of small ball guys, but I do want to give everybody the opportunity opportunity. I do want to meet with Colleen again. I don't like my interview that I did with Colleen because it wasn't live. And I did that based on what he wanted to do, and I knew I shouldn't have. So Colleen will also be back on the channel sometime soon. Um, and anybody else you guys kind of recommend? The Joe Durso thing was a recommendation. That was not something someone said, yo, interview Joe Durso. I said, get me his number, and he got me his number. I would love to interview Wally. I would love to interview Wally. 1000%. I would love to interview Wally. So that's another one that's on the radar coming up because I'm not gonna let Wally tell me no. You don't got an option, Wally. You getting on the channel. I would love to interview Herman. Danny, I would love to interview Herman, but if I interview Herman, you better dedicate 3 hours because Herman likes to talk, and you got to tell him no. Herman likes to talk. When I see Herman calling me, if I don't have an hour to spare, I can't pick up the phone. Can't pick up the phone. If Herman is calling and I got things I got to do within like an hour and a half, I got to call him back. Because my man, every conversation with Herman is a history lesson. Every conversation with Herman. Eddie Styles, Little Eddie is another one I would love to meet with. Me and Little Eddie, me and Little Eddie used to be really good, and then we had a falling out. And it's not it's not like I'll never talk to you again falling out. It's more like, he didn't like my take on the rules, or my any if maybe he felt like I didn't earn my influence or earn my spot. I love Little Eddie. Um, so I would love to interview Little Eddie. And something I was thinking of, Carlos, write this down too. What did I ask you to write down earlier? I hope you wrote it down because I forgot already. Write this down too. Next, Florida versus the world. I like my red hat better. It's me. It's me. Next, Florida versus the world. We need to fly down Rookie. I don't even think that's an option. Rookie should be in Florida versus the world with us. Spot reffing. I mean, oh, the yes, that weekend. That's what I asked you. Yeah. I think we need to fly down Rookie. I think Rookie needs to be there. Ray Lopez is another one. Gio, I would love. Gio might be a little difficult. Gio and Thavo are difficult to get on camera. But I think we need Rookie in Florida. I think he needs to return to Florida. Someone said interview Durso and Angel at the same time. I don't know if that. I would love to get Angel Marquez. I know Amir. Amir kind of jumped that gun on me, man. Angel was gonna be my next interview, and I tuned in. I mean, I can still interview Angel. I mean, if he allows it, obviously. Um, Maybe I will. Maybe I will still try to get Angel on. Everybody interviews differently. Maybe you guys like Tamir's interviews. Maybe you like my interviews. I think I'll still try to get Angel. Um, Let me just read. Dave Rojas. Okay, Dave Rojas. Oh, but Amir got Dave Rojas too, man. I was supposed to get Dave Rojas. I just wasn't there yet. Amir is sniping me, bro. Amir is sniping. Black Justin, I gotta try to get in touch with him. Got the hat. Wally, I talked to Emmett yesterday. He said he didn't want to do it, but I'll talk to him. Okay, yo, so BJ, when I meet with you, maybe we could talk about Emmett for the next one. I would love to interview Emmett. I used to fuck with Emmett a lot, bro, when I used to see him at St. John's. I used to tell him that he was washed up and I could beat him now, but I don't think I would have been able to. But I still did it. I don't give a damn. I have a question. What do you think can add value to becoming an A player? Like, do we do strictly A player tournaments? Little off topic, but sorry. What do you think can add value? So I think the card itself is a big value piece. I think oftentimes players get carded and then they elevate their skill based off of that card. What I think what you're asking for is what kind of um what kind of exclusive reward can you get for becoming an A player besides getting the card? That is, and I think that's what you're asking. Um, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, in a open tournament only, Paulie tries to do every single winter at the Elks, and he struggles to find 16 teams, Wally. He struggles to find 16 solid teams. And it's because of what you said, like they fade away, right? So I don't know if a open only tournament really does anything. I will say I do think that um I do think that doing a open tournament and not allowing the top players in might bring out the lesser A players to compete, but then you lose the guys that feel like they're top players and they and but their stats don't align with it because they're like, why would I play in a tournament without the best of the best? Right. So there is such a tricky, it's such a like a double-edged sword, uh trying to figure out what you can do. You said more so, how do we make A players exclusive? How do we make A players exclusive to make it that much more prestigious to become an A player? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Give me an example of what you mean. Give me an example of what you mean, because I feel like I'm not understanding it completely. Rico said, "Gotta play him in singles for these interviews." Oh, I'm gonna lose. I'm not gonna interview anybody. Oh, you talk about Emmett? I think Emmett would still beat me. If want to get Gio for the interview, talk to Dave because they're brother. Yeah, I know. I did talk to Dave about that. They should do 2 mandatory tournaments a year for A players, like how the IFBB does. I don't know what that is. IFBB, IFBB. I don't know. No, but again, I hear what you guys are saying, but what you got to understand is your words make complete sense, but the action doesn't make sense when it's applied because Paulie does it every year. Every year, Paulie does it. And again, I'm not saying Paulie is doing anything wrong. Um, I'm saying that A players don't play, man. They just don't play. It's very